Alright, what is going on, my beautiful people? So, got this book, You Are the Universe by Dr. Deepak Chopra. So, I just wanted to go over some of the stuff in this book that was really striking me as I was reading it. I don't know too much of the science and the particles that he's mentioning, whether or not they're subatomic or quantum. I'm pretty sure that might actually be the same thing, but I digress. So, in this, and through other stuff I've heard about particles and whatnot, they act as waves unless you're perceiving them. Unless something is actually watching them and viewing them, then they act as a single particle going only one direction. But not being watched by an observer, there's many facets to them. And they act as a wave as opposed to just one solid force. And with that being said, it honestly made me think about us as spiritual beings living a temporary physical existence in this 3D reality. It made me think about how many of us are multidimensional, and the macrocosm is us, while the microcosm is these particles. Now, these particles, when observed, they act in just one dimension, just one particular fashion. All right. Sorry, that was my dog. Can you stop? Sit. Just sit. If you don't, just get out of the way. Go. All right, good girl. All right, sorry about that. Where was I? So this particle, think of the particles, since the particles are the microcosm and us as these beings would be the macrocosm. Think of this kind of example. Think of me without somebody looking at me and perceiving me and me talking to them. If nobody was there, I would remain multidimensional. Now, this is a weak example because I will continue to be multidimensional no matter what, no matter who perceives me. The trick here is that when the other person, because the beauty is in the power of the beholder. So that, just think of that as I talk about this. So somebody else is looking at me and they're judging me and they see me with certain particular labels, even though I'm an all-encompassing multidimensional being. Somebody can look at me and say human. Somebody can look at me and say black. Somebody can look at me and say mixed. Somebody can look at me and say man. But all of these things do not encompass who I am totally as a being. As a spiritual entity, it does not encapsulate everything that I am destined to be, anything that I have been previously. It just only encapsulates a minute fraction of what I actually am. Now, with that being said, us spiritually, we act as waves. We're multidimensional. We have many facets and many dimensions and many realms, even to us, just as a being. Much as like the universe has many galaxies and universes and so on and so forth, we have the same thing within us. With that being said, we can see how... Oh, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh, here's where I was going with this. Now, look in terms of mass consciousness and collective consciousness. The way we see reality and the way we label each other and see different things creates that reality. So like I was saying earlier with the example of somebody can look at me and say a man, that gives off the reality and the impression that I am the man. I am a man. And then when I act, people are looking at me and they already have these preconceived notions that I am a man. And then with these notions, they enter sort of a vibratory state within perceiving me and seeing that, oh, he's a man, I respond with this, I say this. And this is something I think we can all relate to as men, women, black, white, any race, any kind of label or identity. When you are something, people, it doesn't really matter what you are, but their perception of you dictates how they respond to you and how they, in a way, try to shape you and mold you into this caricature. That little drawing thing they do at Carolyn sometimes. Sorry, but they mold you as they're talking to you. So, with that being said, I want us to all think about like big things, big monuments, big things collectively we see as consciousness as a whole, and maybe, and this is just a hypothetical, maybe if we changed our ideas and the labels we put on these things, maybe this can create new avenues of thought and new ideas to surface so we can think about things in a new way. See, when we continue to think about race in terms of this person is black, this person is white, this person looks different than me, then we're focusing on the differences and we're focusing on a pre-existing framework that has been existing for about, I don't know, a pretty long time, I guess, in terms of the scope of my lifetime and many of your lifetimes. So if we continue to work with this old framework, we're going to continue to get the same results. And this goes for also building habits and building a new future for yourself. Because once you realize that you're multidimensional, have many facets to yourself, then it makes it easier for you to change as a being, as an essence, as presence itself. All you know is to focus on what you want to grow, because whatever you pay attention to, it grows. It's a form of currency. What you focus on is a form of currency. And with that, it adds on value over time. A lot of people here in this world, we sometimes value, we don't think it's valuing, but we pay attention to the wrong things, and then the wrong things are what continue to add up over time. Many of us have stress and anxiety or depression, and a lot of that, I would say depression, I've dealt with that in the past, is it's almost like wallowing, being in this feeling of unworthiness, being in this feeling of cynicism, and being in this feeling of, oh, everything is wrong, nothing is perfect, everything sucks, I hate this, I hate myself, I hate life, and just never really challenging that. And I know this is going to sound really trivial to a lot of people because they're going to say, oh, it's a chemical imbalance. But the thing is, yes, it is chemical. Like I said, micro to macro. Spiritually, you exist in a way that corresponds with the physicality and this physical nature that we exist in. So the chemical imbalance that you have has been wired through your brain and through certain actions and repetitions that you have done in your current life, that it would be easy to fix if you started to switch up spiritually. And when I say spiritually, I'm saying do things that give your soul life, give yourself purpose, serve people, serve others, serve nature, serve this planet, serve God, whatever you think God might be to you, whatever the higher power is to you. Serve that higher purpose and work for a better day. The problem is we think nothing changes. We think everything is stagnant, but every day is a new day. Sorry, I got a little off topic, but as I was saying with the particles, let's change the way we look about certain things, like depression, anxiety, stress, obstacles in your life. Instead of looking at things as detriments and things you'll never get over, let's look at them as learning lessons. And let's see the potential that these can give us and see the growth that we can get through this. And the thing I'll say about many uncomfortable emotional states that we find ourselves stuck in is these are opportunities for growth. These are opportunities to shine. The ability you have with yourself and the compassion you have for yourself and for others, when you're able to build and you're able to pull yourself out of a depression, pull yourself out of the mud and become a giant oak tree or become something that provides stability and foundation for yourself, you notice you're able to provide this for others. And that in itself is a gift. And that is the gift of many problems that you find in your life, many mental issues, not mental issues, but mental and emotional issues. As you find you're able to conquer this, and you're able to conquer this, you're able to share the wealth with others. And that's the whole point. to, I think, existence as a whole is once you're able to build the foundation with yourself, you're able to share this to other people. And that's what I encourage a lot of you guys to do. Many of my subscribers and many people who follow my content is to share the wealth and to share the prosperity deep within your soul and enrich the life and give value unto others. Now, with that being said, I encourage all of y'all to make it a great day. Let me know if you want me to break down more stuff I read in books. I think it'd be pretty cool. Make sure you follow my IG, follow my Twitter, follow other stuff that I have. And peace, blessings, namaste. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful grand time.